I am the God man, living, learning his plan. This is teaching, never preaching, I'm the future advance. I'm the reason that you're reaching to the knowledge in this season. I'm the universe, lyrically in tune to work. My black magic beat is savage, so this music is my passion. I use a verse to break the spell, but the devil did his work on the small minds while he running his turf. Rap niggas want respect, but these chickens are jerked. Talking spicy, love money, love sex, dummy. Love disrespect instead of building connects. To be the best of ourselves on this planet called hell. I see a lot of Satans having your conversations about your life within the matrix, but you never learn to change it. Practicing your rituals to keep us in your cages, and my people do the same thing to keep us in that placement. Arguments of hatred, it stops with my engagement. We gotta step within our greatness. We gotta set the record straight. We gotta step within our greatness. We gotta set the record straight. We gotta step within our greatness. We gotta set the record straight. We gotta step within our greatness. We gotta set the record straight.
50 years from now, they're gonna try to say Eminem invented rap. Watch. White people would be slaves if they could, just to steal it.
Peace. This is Random Thoughts, where I give you 5 to 10 minutes of random thoughts, so here we go. So I've been watching things online centered around hip hop, and usually I would do this on the Culture Speaks, but it needs to be addressed more than once, because I find it's real funny that nobody wants to acknowledge black involvement of black culture. Hip hop is black culture. But also, when you say black, of course, it has no standing in origin of what you talk about nationality. Like Puerto Rico is a province, all right? And then you have like an American, or it's really indigenous natives, you know what I'm saying? Or when you say like Haitians and Moors and all this other stuff. So when I get into that, the reason why I talk about these things in the way that I talk about them is because it is silly that we're having these arguments and discussions about if Puerto Ricans and blacks, or who started hip-hop. First of all, hip-hop itself, the culture of hip-hop or hip-hop culture is black, period. Now, when you talk about Puerto Ricans are not separate from blacks. That's what you have to understand. A lot of people back in the day, and even now, acknowledge their Nubian ancestry, their melanated ancestry. So therefore, when you say that who started hip-hop in itself, from the breaking, the DJing, the graffiti, you know what I'm saying? The MCing, all of that comes from black culture, right? And all people take a piece of black culture. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're talking about Spanish music and salsa and merengue, all of that is African Nubian culture retitled to be called what it is, to fit the origin of the people that are there at the time. So when you say merengue and salsa, that was an African love dance from ancient times. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why people have to go and try to separate themselves. But you know what? Racism is a funny thing, because when you practice racism, right, you pretty much distance yourself from any Nubian or melanated ties. But guess what? Everything that you're doing, even Eminem, as much as y'all call him the GOAT, all right? And I'm not here to argue any points of him being the GOAT or not. I don't care, because I don't look at things like that. But because y'all call Eminem the GOAT, a lot of y'all only call Eminem the GOAT because he is Caucasian, right? And you never look at a black guy as a GOAT unless he's Rakim, and you don't even do that. You look at Eminem over Rakim. You look at Eminem over Nas. You look at Eminem over Biggie. You look at Eminem over Pac. You look at Eminem over, and because you do that, because you're so in love with not being melanated, or distancing yourself from being melanated, that everything now has to be, well, Puerto Ricans started hip-hop. Puerto Ricans were there in its creation. Puerto Ricans were there in its recreation, as I say, in its development. They were there, you know what I'm saying, as a black culture. So what they were practicing, and if you listen to Crazy Legs on a video that I'm about to show you on the Culture Speaks, right? When you listen to Crazy Legs, he said the words like morenos, which stands for black, which is where you get the word more. And when you see more, that's black. You know what I'm saying? Because black is not necessarily a culture. I mean, black is not necessarily a color. It is a essence. Black is existence. Black is calmness. Black is supreme. Black is all in existence. It was in all. Because it can't be all. Because it's limited just by the adjective itself. When you say is, then the actual adjective. But all is. You can't attach an adjective to all. All right? So when you're talking about blacks, black culture, all right, you don't separate Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans and all that. Those are just origins of place. You see what I'm saying? Those are just origins of place. So the arguments that we're having, to KRS-One's point was that they helped create the culture. Jamaicans, American blacks, and Trinis, and then when you listen to actual people that were there, whether they were Puerto Rican or black, they say no. It's black culture, and everybody had their hand in it. They added something to it being a black creation.
They tell you, listen, they tell you Latinos created hip hop. That's not true.
No, absolutely right.
Were we there to help develop it in the evolution? Yeah. Absolutely right. Nobody can take that away from us.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So when you listen to a lot of the old school heads, I got videos of old school cats that been around said, listen, Puerto Ricans weren't really the creators of it. And from what I'm looking at, if you look at the historical reference, this is why y'all shouldn't have did what y'all did to Bam. Because one, when Bambaataa was around, y'all did not have these arguments. But now that the Zulu Nation and the Bambaataa is all, like, they're not around to correct these things, y'all are running around foolishly, going around and arguing about stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? We know that it's black culture. Everything is black culture. Everything comes from black culture. Everything stands in the darkness. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes from darkness. Everything comes from triple stage darkness. Everything comes from black. All new forms of music come from black folks. All forms of speech come from black folks. All forms of expression come from black folks. You know what I'm saying? Everything is tied to our Nubian melanated ancestry. So therefore, you know what I'm saying? We should be acknowledging the fact that this is a black culture, and it's been a black culture. So why is it questioned now in the 2020s? 50 years of hip hop, and now everybody is confused about who started this shit. It's fucking dumb. You can't make claims to something that started. Listen, you did that shit with rock and roll. You claim rock and roll. White folks claim rock and roll. They claim classical. You claim fucking jazz. You claim soft jazz. You claim fucking R&B, and all of that shit started with black folks. So why would it be different now with hip hop? You know why? Because we separated everything. Puerto Ricans and blacks. Puerto Ricans are black. Even their culture, when you look at their country, the Port of the Rich, all of these things have an African, Nubian, melanated ancestry. And that should be acknowledged and respected. So therefore, blacks who are Puerto Ricans, blacks who are Jamaicans, blacks who are Afro-Americans, Moors, and Nubians, melanated people started hip-hop. All of those other origins of place did have no place in what we call hip-hop and separation, because what was we meant to do? Peace, love, unity, and having fun, bringing the people together. So stop this dumb argument about the shit. But I'm gonna put more context into it on The Culture Speaks to show you exactly what people are saying from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see you on that. Peace.